just yesterday, this young couple came up to me. It was a very touching moment because they just decided mid-season that they're not pursuing the farm. This year is too much for them, and they just decided to write to every one of their CSA to say that they're stopping. They're going to reimburse them. It was touching because they came up to me because they had read my book, The Market Gardener. I had inspired them to start the farm in the first, giving them like positive message about doing it, and they were discouraged to a point where they decided to not do it. And so today we're talking about a really important subject, is why do so many young farmers start farms and then quit? Burnout, it's too much work. After a couple of seasons, they're tired of it. For certain, it's going to be a bad experience. For others, they're just going to move on, and that's fine. But for someone that has been doing it for so many years, it's like, I think when you go into farming, when you go into growing vegetables like we do, having a mixed, diversified farm, growing for market, growing for CSA, going to farmers market, learning all these different things, mastering that, putting it together, making the farm financially sound, having work days that are tolerable. There's a lot that goes into it. And often people are not as well prepared as perhaps they should be. I would say that that's, in my opinion, the number one reason. Like, having strong heart, courage, dedication, motivation, these are all prerequisite. Okay, you need that. But that's not enough in itself. You also need to be well prepared. And being well prepared means you need to know how to grow your crops. You need to learn how to teach it to others that are with you on the crew. And you need to have work days that are super well prepared. You need to be well prepared, like for the season, for the month, for the week, for the day. So having really a well planned out day ahead of you. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What's the schedule of the day? What's the schedule of the week? This should always be clear before you do it. And this is something that you learn. And sometimes the best way to learn how to do this is to start a farm or start farming and learn these things. But if quickly you don't pick up on that, the organizational skills that you need to effectively manage everything that needs to be done in a day, in a week, in a month, that eventually you lose a lot of steam. You're like spinning your wheels, you're doing a lot of work, but you're not effective. And so I would say preparation is really important, and that's something that you can acquire. But that, in my opinion, is very, very important. And it can't be overlooked. Going into a season not fully prepared, you can do it, you can wing it, but you won't have the same result as if you're fully prepared. This being said, the other thing is that you kind of need to go through the growing pains, and they're there for sure, especially at this time of the year. If presently you're struggling on your farm, you're struggling with this whole concept of owning a farm, running a farm, you're tired, your crew's tired, people are starting to go on vacation around you, your friends, your neighbors, your family, they're talking about their trips that you're making, and you're working 65 hours a week in the garden, and you're like, this is not what I imagined a life for myself. Like, it's kind of like when you're growing through hell, just keep going. Like, now is not a good time to put everything into perspective. Now is a bad time to do that. Now you just need to stick with it. Just do your work one day at a time. End your day by preparing the next one. Try to be positive. Try to, do what you need to do. And late fall, when you're done with your season, now is going to be the time to revisit why you're farming, how you're doing it, how could it be improved, what systems you need to perhaps tackle on your farm to make your flow better, what kind of crops wasn't a success, what you can do about learning how to grow that crop better. Like, the winter months is the time to do that and revisit if you really want to do this again. But again, if If you're, August, when it's hot, when you're tired, when there's a lot of work to be done, it's not the good time to think about these things. You should just stick with your plan, your current plan. Take notes of what's not going well. Write it down. And then make sure that you have these notes to revisit late fall or after a break for the next season. The other big thing that I've seen a lot is, a lot of people that go into farming are very idealistic, and that's great. And I was like that when I started in farming. I did it for the right reasons. I went into farming because I wanted to be part of the solution. But soon enough, you realize that not only is it super hard work, physical work, mental work, it's demanding, but there's delivery every week. There's expectation of progress, of outcome that's on you. And being into farming, you need to think as a farmer. You need to see your farm as a business. You need to see your farm as something that is going to take work at it. Like it's work. There's not any successful grower out there that did commit to not just hard work, but again, preparation and the struggle, the hardships, they're part of the learning experience. So again, if you're going through that right now, remember this, you're not alone. Most farmers right now, they're very tired, just like you, and this is all normal. But success doesn't come overnight, and it doesn't mean that it's not working out right now or that it won't later. But the mindset of young people getting into farming should be like, I want to start a farming business. I want to start a farming enterprise. A micro farm project is like starting a restaurant, or it's like starting a construction business, or it's like starting any other craftsmanship trade that you're going to be running. You're not just an employee. You're not just going in, doing the work, punching out. I've talked about this in so many other episodes of Digging Deeper, and if you've read my book, The Market Gardener, we talk about these things. Crop planning is super important. Having the right tools, the right strategies, preparation, know-how, and the heart and the will, that's the pyramid, that's the basis. So just like, it's fine if it's not working out right now, but just make sure that you prepare for the next round. Just yesterday, this young couple came up to me. It was a very touching moment because they just decided mid-season that they're not pursuing the farm. This year is too much for them, and they just decided to write to every one of their CSA to say that they're stopping. They're going to reimburse them. It was touching because they came up to me because they had read my book, The Market Gardener. I had inspired them to start the farm in the first, giving them like a positive message about doing it. And they were discouraged to a point where they decided to not do it. And it was tough. It was tough a moment. It's tough for me to hear because I had so much compassion, and I'm always hopeful that people that start farms will succeed. And for them at this time, it was the right move. That happens, and there wasn't much to say because the decision was made, and yeah. Like, the flip side of my message of being, prepared, organized, is that, perhaps it's not for everyone. Perhaps, you don't have the entrepreneur mindset or skill set. There's a lot of reasons why this could not work also. And it might be a good idea to envision that possibility also. There's a chance that you might start a farm, go into farming with the highest hopes, and it's not going to pan out. That happens. And so when this is the situation, I think the growing community, the small scale farming community, we're all filled with compassion when these stories come out. I'm sure all the growers that are out there, they've had these conversations with other growers. When you're at farmers market and suddenly, you know, the neighbor's not there anymore. I've seen that. It's kind of sad. Reach out. If you're a seasoned grower, reach out and just give your heart to them. It's going to be a tough moment. Yeah, like as much as small scale farming is the future, it's still hard. So anyway, I'm opening up this discussion out there. You know, if you're going through some of that and you want to share it with the community, please do. Sharing is always hopeful, insightful. It's like, I'm sure there's a lot of people feeling pain right now. And, you know, if I can be a listener, or if I can, you know, there's not much more I can do, but I think this discussion of how hard it is important to have. And if you can find a space that you feel that you will be, you know, secure enough to share it, I think it's a great sharing. How tough it is also important. Yeah, so if you have comments, leave them. I hope that if anything, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. This year's a kind of like semi-farming mode for me, so not feeling so much stress and pressure, but believe me, I've been there many times. So this is it for this week. If you want to learn more about mental health, you can check out this video that we made about it. That's also an important topic in the small-scale farming community. But again, I hope you guys are well. I'm well. I'll talk to you next time. JM out.